Hello, my friend. Welcome to this channel. Before the dollar, before central banks, before paper wealth crossed oceans, there was a currency forged through centuries of invasion, monarchy, trade, and trust. A currency that survived plagues, wars, empire, and decline. A currency still recognized across the planet. This is the story of the British pound sterling.
And if you enjoy inspiring, life-changing stories and stories about real heroes, then take a moment to subscribe to this channel, because here, every story has a purpose. Let me take you back to the beginning. Long before coins rang through crowded markets, before kings stamped their faces into silver, before the symbol pound carried power across continents, Britain was a land of barter. Cattle were wealth, grain was payment, salt, iron tools, and livestock moved from hand to hand in exchange for survival. Across cold forests, mist-covered hills, and wind-swept coasts, tribes traded only what they had for what they needed. There was no pound, only value shaped by necessity. But in the distance, history was approaching, and money was coming. Then came Rome. In 43 AD, the Roman Empire invaded Britain, bringing roads, law, armies, and money. Gold coins gleamed in sunlight. Silver denarii passed through soldiers' hands. Bronze coins clinked in market stalls. For the first time, Britain experienced a vast monetary system tied to imperial power. Taxes were demanded in coin. Wages were paid in coin. Trade moved faster than ever before. When Rome eventually collapsed, its legions vanished. But beneath British soil, thousands of coins remained buried, silent reminders that money had once ruled here. After Rome withdrew, darkness and division followed. Britain fractured into small kingdoms. Trade weakened. Coinage nearly disappeared. But by the 7th century, something stirred again. New rulers began minting tiny silver coins called sciadas. Crude, mysterious, often unevenly struck, yet powerful. These small pieces of silver marked the rebirth of commerce. England was remembering that metal could carry trust, and trust could rebuild nations. Then came one of the most important coins in history, the penny. Around the 8th century, rulers such as Offa of Mercia helped establish a standard silver penny. Small enough for daily trade, reliable enough for wide acceptance, simple enough to dominate for centuries. The penny became the backbone of English money. It would survive wars, plagues, invasions, and kings for over 1,000 years. And from this tiny silver coin, the future pound would rise. The pound did not begin as a coin. It began as weight. A pound meant 1 pound of silver, and 240 pennies, made from sterling silver, roughly equaled that weight. So the pound was first an accounting unit, not something held in the hand, but something recorded in ledgers, taxes, debts, and rents. Money, before it became physical, was mathematics, and the pound was born in numbers before it was born in metal. Even today, the word sterling carries mystery. Some believe it came from trusted silver used by northern traders. Others link it to the Easterlings, merchants known for reliable metal. Whatever the origin, one truth remained. Sterling meant quality, purity, trust. And once trust attached itself to silver, it slowly attached itself to Britain. In 1066, the fate of England changed forever. William the Conqueror crossed the Channel, defeated King Harold, and seized the throne. But he did not only conquer land, he took control of money. Coin production became more centralized. Royal authority tightened. The mint now served the crown. The pound was no longer only commerce, it was power. For centuries, coins were made by hand. Small blanks of silver were placed between dies, then struck by hammer. Each coin slightly different, each coin imperfect. Markets bustled with pennies, halfpennies, and farthings. Most common people never touched a full pound. It was too valuable, too large in worth. So the pound lived mostly in records, in rents owed, taxes collected, and debts unpaid. Sometimes, the most powerful money is never seen. But money has enemies. Clipping, shaving silver from coin edges, counterfeiting, debasement, greed. When trust weakened, governments were forced to act. Old coins were recalled, new coins were minted, entire currency systems reset. Again and again, Britain learned a lesson that never changes. A nation can survive many things, but no currency survives without trust. Silver ruled daily life, but gold symbolized greatness. In 1257, Henry III introduced an early English gold coin. It struggled and failed commercially. The people still trusted silver more, but the message was clear. England wanted gold, prestige, power. And though this first attempt faded, gold would return, and when it did, it would transform the pound forever. As centuries passed, England was drawn into long and brutal conflict with France. War drained treasure, taxes rose, silver crossed borders. Merchants feared uncertainty. The battlefield was not the only place where nations fought. Money itself became a weapon. Kings borrowed heavily. Coins were melted. Supplies were purchased with promises of future payment. The pound was no longer merely domestic currency. It had entered the dangerous world of geopolitics. And from this moment on, wars and money would forever walk together. Then came the Tudors, and with them, a new age of power, ambition, and risk. Henry VIII ruled with grandeur, wars, and enormous expense. But crowns need money. To fund campaigns and royal ambitions, the silver content of coins was reduced. Coins looked the same, but contained less precious metal. This was debasement, a hidden tax on the people. Prices rose, confidence weakened. The kingdom felt the cost. The pound had not collapsed, but it had been wounded from within. Then, a queen changed everything. Elizabeth I inherited a damaged currency and a nation hungry for stability. She ordered one of the great monetary repairs in English history. Bad coins were withdrawn. Silver standards were restored. The mint was strengthened. Slowly, confidence returned. Markets steadied. Trade revived. Trust began to breathe again. The pound had been shaken, but now it was rescued. During the Tudor era, gold returned in spectacular fashion. The sovereign emerged, a magnificent gold coin carrying royal authority. Its shine reflected candlelight in halls of power. Its image proclaimed majesty. Money was no longer only for buying bread or paying rent. It was propaganda in metal. Every coin whispered the same message. The monarch rules. The kingdom endures. The crown commands value itself. In 1603, two thrones moved closer together. James VI and I inherited both Scotland and England, uniting the crowns under one ruler. Though the kingdoms remained politically separate, the idea of a shared future had begun. Two nations, two traditions, two monetary histories,
now tied to one sovereign. The pound's story was expanding beyond England, toward something larger, toward Britain itself. Then the island descended into chaos. In the 1640s, civil war erupted. King fought parliament, families divided, authority shattered. When politics trembles, money trembles too. People hoarded silver, confidence collapsed, trade slowed under fear, governments changed, rulers fell. Even the throne itself was broken. The pound survived, but survival in such times was victory enough. Out of disorder came innovation. By the late 17th century, old hammered coins were giving way to machine-made money. Milled edges, precise shapes, uniform designs. Clipping became harder. Forgery became riskier. Trust became stronger. Technology had entered the mint. The pound was no longer medieval. It was becoming modern, sharper, cleaner, harder to cheat, and ready for a larger world. In 1694, one institution rose that would shape the pound for centuries. Bank of England was founded to help finance war against France. But it became far more than a wartime solution. It managed government debt, supported credit, strengthened confidence. And soon, it would issue notes that changed money forever. This was not just a bank, it was the future engine of British finance and the guardian of sterling itself. For ages, value had lived in metal. Silver could be weighed, gold could be touched. But now, paper entered the story. Banknotes represented wealth without containing it, a promise backed by trust. To many people, it seemed unbelievable. How could paper equal silver? How could ink replace metal? Yet gradually, it worked. Because true money had never been metal alone. It had always been belief. In 1707, history turned again. England and Scotland formally united into Kingdom of Great Britain. A new state was born, and the pound became the currency of a stronger political union. This was more than economics. It was identity. One kingdom, one growing financial system, one currency moving toward global importance. The island had changed, and so had the destiny of the pound.